Black Nativity was first performed more than 50 years ago, and most of that time it's been a holiday fixture in Boston. Locally, the show is owned and produced by the National Center of Afro-American Artists, based in Roxbury. To tell us about this year's production is the director and curator of its museum, Barry Gaither. Thank you very much for being with us, Barry.
I'm always very pleased to be here. You're one of the best hosts in town.
Well, that's a wonderful thing to hear about. But I want to go back here with a little history. This is going back roughly half a century ago. Langston Hughes came up with the script. Talk about the genesis of Black Nativity.
Langston had established himself already as a poet of especially the Black urban experience, as a lover of gospel and of jazz. And he'd integrated these into his work. And he also had a great sympathy for ordinary life, how you make ends meet. So what he does is he takes the Christmas story and he reinvents it as a Black narrative, really, for 2,000 years before, using language from the New Testament that he then intermixes with existing gospel and with some new writing, which is in contemporary Black vernacular. So the whole feeling of it is immediately much more intimate, much more immediate, and much more in the now.
It's Black, it's universal, it's also very contemporary. I mean, this thing it practically opens with a young family struggling to find housing.
Yes, exactly the same problems that one has in Boston now. And I guess you could say the second piece of it is also looking for those medical supports that might have assisted a birth. It's set in the stable in this story, and in our own moment, it's very much the discussion of healthcare. So there are these links across time that belong to the story, but at its base, it is a story about hope and renewal. It's a story that reminds us that with every new birth comes new possibilities.
Of course, the other story that you've seen over the years are the people who've made this a staple in Boston, starting with Elma Lewis.
Yes, I came to Boston working in the vision of Miss Lewis in the fall of 1969, and was there when we decided to begin our production of this show in 1970. That was stamped indelibly by principal performing arts people who were working with us at the behest of Miss Lewis at that moment. Key among them, John Ross, who was responsible for music at the Elma Lewis School and the National Center. George Howard, who was choreographer for our ethnic dance company and who did the movement for Black Nativity, and Vernon Blackman, who had been Miss Lewis's personal friend since childhood and who was a very gifted dramatist, and he put together the show. That was the original making of it, and we didn't originally make it to be a long-running show. We originally made it to be a special presentation for our national board for its winter meeting. And you might say it succeeded beyond itself, and we said, let's run with this.
So what people are going to be able to look for as far as anything new this year, especially with some of the performers that you're running?
Well, we have lots of new children, as we have every year. Now, there were not children in the original performance. That was with an adult gospel course. John Ross, having the advantage of working with both the Elma Lewis School of Fine Arts and its many youngsters, and the adult singing organizations in the National Center, John created the music so that both of those came to it. Children's voices bring a particular glee that you really can't mimic otherwise. So they're always new children, and they always come with new enthusiasm because we always get them ready between October and December to go on the stage without a director standing in front of them and carry forward the show. So I would say every year our effort is to balance two things. One is, because the show has run for such a period, we have a great number of visitors who really see it as a tradition, and they want it to retain the shape and character of it. At the same time, we're a little bit like Ray Charles. We can't sing the same song the same way twice. So every year we have to bring a lot of innovation and improvisation within the broader framework of the piece. We have kept the outline of John Ross's musical structures, but we have fine-tuned them each year, because each year we have some different voices and often some different dancers, and every performer comes with gifts that are peculiarly theirs. So if you've seen the show in the past and you come this year, you'll be delighted that it won't seem strange or foreign or too far removed from what you hoped for. At the same time, you'll have some surprises, that it isn't what you saw before, that some of the sound is new to your ear, and that those delightful little faces are new.
Well, speaking of looking for a home, I guess the National Center is still doing that, still hoping for a place maybe on Columbus Avenue.
Well, the Tremont Crossing project, which we've been working on for a long time, promises us a new facility at 31,000 square feet on Tremont, across from where the police headquarters is. We hope to get there in 2018, and that will give us a much greater ability to serve the community and to serve Boston in ways that we haven't been able to do for want of a facility and for want of sufficient budget. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Right. Well, in the near future, people can look forward to the opening of Black Nativity, and this is going to be, what date in September? December are we talking about?
We're talking about the 4th of December as the beginning show. We run Friday nights at 8, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon at 3:30. Those are matinees for the first 3 weekends of December. And we're at the Paramount Theater in downtown, so it's very convenient and it's very easy. You can purchase your tickets, for example, by walk-up or by phone or online through the box office of the Paramount.
Right. Well, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Okay. Barry Gaither for Black Nativity.